Kia ora te whānau. One of the first questions I usually get asked by business owners when they are wanting to build a website is, how much is a website going to cost me? And I'm like, I don't frickin' know. I would not have a clue how much it's going to cost you. Let me explain. So if you walked up to a builder and you said to a builder, how much does it cost to build me a 3-bedroom house? He's going to say, I don't actually know. Doesn't know whether you want a 3-bedroom tiny house, you want a 3-bedroom mansion, where you want it built. He doesn't have any of that information yet. And so it's really, really hard for him to give you a price without knowing more information. We need to know that more information, and we call that requirements. You need to know what it is you want in your website so that we can figure out price for you. So let's talk about these requirements. Now, one of the questions you might get asked is, how many pages do you want on your website? Just like how many bedrooms do you want in your house? That's going to help factor in how much time is involved in putting together this website. Do you have a logo or any brand guidelines? Logo and brand guidelines are really, really important because your logo and your brand guidelines help determine what the colors are that are going to get used on your website. And we'll talk a little bit more about brand guidelines later. Forms, so how complex your forms are, what types of forms, or are they simple, just contact forms? And then we've got content, so your photos and your copy. Who's going to do all the writing on your website? Are you expecting us to do that? Or are you going to provide all of the writing for your website? The same happens when it comes to your photos. So if we look at your photos and go, those are just taken on some old school phone that just does not look good, and it's going to make your website look like crap, we're going to suggest, hey, go and get a professional photographer. And you might say, oh, I don't know anyone. So we'll organize one, and that's going to cost you more money too. Then, of course, you've got things like integrations. You're wanting us to integrate your website with a CRM, some kind of system that you have that you already use. That's going to obviously push up the price. So once we've sort of been through this whole, working out what it is you want on your website, the big question we're going to ask you is, how much do you want to spend on a website? And most people are like, oh, I don't really know. I didn't have a budget. I don't know how much I should spend. What do you reckon? Yep. What do you reckon? What do you reckon I should spend on my website? And I'm like, wow, you just told us that you wanted $100,000 worth of stuff up over here. Do you have $100,000? And instantly they have a budget. Oh, I thought it would only cost something like $10,000. Great. We have a budget now, people. So what it means we can do is go, all right, so you've got a budget of $10,000. Cool. Let's work backwards and unwind some of this stuff here. So let's work out what it is you can afford in your website project and what it is you can't afford in your website project. And those things that you can't afford, it's not saying that we're never going to do them. It's just saying, hey, we're not going to do these bits today. We might actually break those other things down into phases and say, hey, phase 1, we're going to do this stuff today. And we're going to get that stuff all sorted. And then in 3 months' time, we're going to come back and revisit this next stuff. Okay, so we're going to give you something that's going to work and be functional, and then we'll come back and do this other stuff later. Okay, so how much can you expect to pay for a website? Well, that really depends on what you need. But ballpark figures, if you're looking for something that is under 5 pages and it's pretty standard, pretty stock standard, you want your logo on there, you want your brand colors, and you sort of want some copywriting done for you, then you'd be looking around, say, the 5K mark or under. If you're looking for something with a few more pages and you want some flashy bits and you want it to do certain things, you're definitely looking at the 10K plus mark. So prepare to budget for those amounts and expect those amounts when you're going out to get these website quotes. Hope you find that useful.